waiting for the president to move down. For the president.
You call it, Alabama. You call Tails. Tails it is. Tails it is. You win the call. Okay. We'll decide the rest of it on the field. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. Who won the call? Alabama.
The Orange Bowl game. Alabama won the toss, and we'll get their decision when they move out to the 50-yard line. Leroy Jordan actually is representing 15 Alabama seniors here today. We have 15 co-captains for Alabama, while Oklahoma has 2. From our Goodyear blip, there's the over of the Orange Bowl. Here's the Alabama team coming out. They're in white today. Oklahoma will be in the dark suits. And in just a moment, we're going down to the field to meet the starting lineups. Oklahoma's starting team is already on the field. Now Alabama's coming out. And let's go down to Jim McKay. Alabama, defeated just once in the last 3 years, in their last 28 games, has not had over 7 points scored on it in any single game in the last 3 years. Truly one of the great defensive records of recent times in college football. Oklahoma also is an outstanding defensive team. In the last 8 games, they have not had a touchdown scored against them by rushing. So if you figure we might have a tight defensive game, also you can take a look at some of the scores both teams can score. They've been up in the 30s and 40s. They both control the ball, Alabama especially with their great young sophomore quarterback. And now let's go down to the field to Jim McKay to meet the starting lineup.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the Crimson Tide of Alabama at left end, number 83.
Richard Williams, Sandy Ridge, Alabama.
Okay, Nick. At left tackle, number 69.
Charlie Pell, left tackle from Albertville, Alabama.
Right, Charlie. At left guard, number 64.
Jimmy Wilson, Hazelville, Alabama.
Right, Jim. At center, number 54.
Leroy Jordan, Excel, Alabama.
The great Leroy Jordan. At right guard, number 61.
Jimmy Sharp, Montgomery, Alabama.
At right tackle, number 74.
Butch Henry, Selma, Alabama.
Right, Butch. And at right end, number 84.
Bill Ballard, Birmingham, Alabama.
Moving to the backfield now. Number 31 at fullback.
Ed Rush Bullitt from Norfolk, Virginia.
Right, Eddie. At left halfback, number 45.
Cotton Clark, Kansas, Alabama.
At right halfback, number 20.
Butch Wilson, Hueytown, Alabama.
And here is the starting quarterback, number 12.
Joe Namath, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
We would also like you to meet quarterback number 16.
Jack Robert, Houston, Texas.
And tackle number 75.
Richard Odell, Lincoln, Alabama.
Here is the coach of the Crimson Tide of Alabama, Coach Paul Bear Bryant. Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Now let's move across and meet the opponents of the Crimson Tide, attired in red themselves today. Oklahoma Sooners. And first of all, at left end, number 84.
John Flynn, Washington, D.C.
At left tackle, number 71.
Dennis Ward, Barnesville, Oklahoma.
At left guard here is number 65.
Nate Burton, Springfield, Missouri.
And here is the center for Oklahoma.
Wayne Lee, Ada, Oklahoma.
At left guard, right guard, number 61.
Leon Cross from Hobbs, Mexico.
Here is the right tackle of Oklahoma.
Dwayne Cook, Amarillo, Texas.
And here the right end.
Rick McCarty, Stella, Oklahoma.
In the backfield for Oklahoma at fullback, number 45.
Jim Grisham, Holly, Texas.
At left half, number 33.
Joe Don Lenny, Fort Worth, Texas.
Right, Joe Don. At right half, number 39.
Virgil Bowl, Wichita, Kansas.
And here's the quarterback of the Sooners, number 12.
Monty Deer, Amarillo, Texas.
Isn't too much of him, is there? But he's quite a boy. Now, we would also like you to meet number 36.
Paul Lee, Terrell, Texas.
Number 41.
Melvin Sandersfield, Hobart, Oklahoma.
Number 14.
Charles Mayhew, Ada, Oklahoma.
And number 67.
John Garrett, Stillwell, Oklahoma.
The coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, Bud Wilkinson. Is it good to be back, Bud?
I hope we can play well.
All right, good luck to you. And here is the president of this year's Orange Bowl Committee, our good friend C. Jackson Baldwin. Jack, you have done it.
Well, thank you, Jim. We hope we have a real fine ball game for everyone. We hope the weather is just what they ordered. We hope everybody has a good time.
Okay, well, we're just about ready for action. Let's go back over the booth to Curt Gowdy. Here we go.
All right, thank you, Jim McKay. Those were the starting teams. Oklahoma will alternate two lines about every 6 or 8 minutes, a practice that Bud Wilkinson has done since he's been coaching at Oklahoma for the last 16 years. And very likely, Bear Bryant will be doing the same thing, getting his second-string line in against Oklahoma's second-string line to match the up. Now we're going out to the 50-yard line. Here's Leroy Jordan, some of the officials. He's the captain of Alabama, and the two co-captains of Oklahoma, Wayne Lee and Leon Cross, are moving, and now we're going to get the official decision of that toss of the coin.
Captain Jordan, this is Captain Cross. That's Captain Lee over there. You young ladies might introduce yourselves if you might to the captains. Okay. Okay, now if y'all will move just step one back a little bit and let me get the captains in here. Will you come in, Captain? Alabama has won the toss. Captain, what are your toss? Now, Captain, you may kick from this goal, or you may kick from that goal. You'll defend this goal. You're kicking in this direction. Alabama, you're receiving down there. Now, Captain, the other officials in this ball game are Mr. Sheehan there will be your field judge. Mr. Fancher will be your clock operator. Mr. Williams will be your head lineman. Mr. Smith will be your back judge. Mr. Post will be your umpire. We have just a few seconds to go, captains, and luck to both of you, and let's have a real fine ball game. Thank you, ladies, for coming out.
Alabama won the toss with a flip of the coin with President Kennedy and is elected to receive. So Oklahoma in the dark suits will be kicking off from your right. Recovers it. Covered by Butch Henry. Oklahoma with a surprise maneuver tried an onside kick to recover. Alabama alertly is on the ball. First down for Alabama on their 43.
I think the viewers were able to see the holder of the place kick place the ball flat just before the kicker got there to make it a low kick.
Ready to go now, Alabama up. They use a slot offense. Joe Namath, the quarterback. Wilson in the slot is to Clark. He's at the 45, and he's hit hard at the 47 of Alabama by Leon Cross and Dwayne Cook. We'll identify these players by numbers for you early until you get acquainted with them. Cross is 61 and Cook is 72. A gain of 4 for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Second down and 6 to go. The temperature is 80 degrees. It's just an ideal day here for football. Richard Wilkinson, the split left end. Sophomore quarterback Joe Namath gives off to the fullback Eddie Vesquelli, and he's over the 50-yard line in the Oklahoma territory of the Oklahoma 47. Charlie Mayhew, the left cornerback, and Paul Lee, the safety man, brought him down. And there he is, number 31, Eddie Vesquelli, who had the most carries for Alabama this year with 76.
And of course, one of the things that makes that play really go, you probably saw Namath make that fake. He handed off and then completed his fake going on out to draw those outside defensive men out with the proposed catch.
That was a first down for Alabama, our first of the game. Wilson's in the slot. The pitch is to Clark. Clark at the 45 and races to the Oklahoma 42. Nailed there by Dwayne Cook, the right tackle, number 72, and Jim Grisham, the fullback, the linebacker. Alabama moving on the ground, had a gain of 5 at a second down and 5 to go. Up until Alabama had Joe Namath, the sensational sophomore passer, they were a conservative ball control team, but this year they have thrown the ball. So far, slot right. Here's Namath for his first pass. Throws. It is intercepted by Oklahoma. Val Sandersfeld intercepts number 41. He's the right halfback defensively. And so Oklahoma takes over on their 31 first down.
You probably noticed the ball wobble quite a bit on that throw there. Namath has an exceptionally large hand. As we watched him yesterday in practice, instead of keeping the ball in his fingertips, he was palming it, and it caused the thing to wobble as it did there. He threw it like a baseball instead of most passers. And in this case, he got the wobbler off that time, but he'll no doubt settle down.
All right, Joe Namath goes out on defense for Alabama, and Jack Hurlburt, number 16, will come in and play right half defensively. Oklahoma will have Monty Deere, number 12, at quarterback. Joe Don Looney, 33, at left half. Jim Grisham, 45, at full. And Virgil Bowl is the slot back. Here is Looney at the 30. Looney at the 33. Looney's the fastest back on the Oklahoma team. A junior, 207 pounds. The 5th leading rusher in America. And he's broken loose for several long runs this year. He was hit by Eddie Versprelli, the linebacker, and Leroy Jordan. Keep your eyes today, ladies and gentlemen, on number 54. Messed up on the handoff. Ron Fletcher's in the lineup. Ron Fletcher's in for Derek quarterback right now. Illegal position or procedure against Oklahoma. Fletcher is a long ball passing specialist, and they might have had him in there just for one special play. Penalties declined by Alabama. It is now on the Oklahoma 32. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Curt, that looked like a quick snap play coming up, and the center came up late with it, and therefore everybody was in motion.
They're off on their timing. 3rd and 9 for Oklahoma on their 32. Monty Deere back in, taking the handoff, fires. This one is in by number 45, Cotton Clark, and is he unhappy? He had it right in his hands as Monty Deere overthrew his target, John Flynn. So both teams a little tense here at the opening of the game. Oklahoma now has a 4th down and 9 to go. And they have the nation's top college punter, Joe Namath, who averaged 44 yards a punt this year. He led the nation. Dropping back as a safety is Cotton Clark. Looney can really boot the ball. He kicks those high spirals. They get good punt coverage. Clark is a single safety. Looney will boot from about his 20. A beauty. This one's down to the Alabama 19. Clark to the 20. 25 to the 30. 35, and he's down to the 38-yard line. A 19-yard return by Cotton Clark as Leon Cross, number 61, and Wayne Lee, the center, 51, went down to cover.
They definitely had the punt return play on in this case. You'll either see those defensive linemen try to block the punt or else make a quick charge and then back up and start forming a screen on one side or the other. And in this case, that's what they did to their left.
Alabama's ball, 1st down on the Alabama 39. Joe Namath running the team at quarterback. Namath gives to his fullback over the 40 is Eddie Versprelli, and he's down on the Alabama 42-yard line by Dennis Ward, who hit him low, and Charlie Mayhew, number 14, the left halfback. Mayhew is a defensive specialist and a mighty good one. Junior Paul Lee will be playing safety. A gain of 3 for Alabama, 2nd down, 7. We have no score. Now they're setting Bill Battle, spread wide right, and Williamson a split left end. Namath throws the quick one to Battle at the 45. Battle's down on the Alabama 49. The fumble, but the whistle was already blown. Fullback Jim Grisham made the tackle. And you saw Namath just raise up and hit his spread right in. A gain of 7. It's very close to a 1st down.
Notice, too, that was about a 2-yard pass, and yet he picked up 7 yards. And the reason for it, he did not turn downfield when he caught the ball, as is the obvious choice, but he cut back infield between the tacklers.
1st down, Alabama, on their own 49. Coming through is Versprelli. He's over the 50 in the Oklahoma territory at the Oklahoma 47. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Safety man Paul Lee, number 36, made the tackle for Oklahoma, along with linebacker number 67, Joe Garrett. And so far, Alabama has dominated. They have gained consistently on the ground. The one time they went to the air, they had the pass intercepted. 2nd down, 6. The pitch is to Clark. Clark at the 45, and down to the Oklahoma 42. Number 87 in there to help Nailing, and also number 36, Paul Lee. So it is now a 3rd down for Alabama. 1 yard to go on the Oklahoma 42-yard line. Jim Chrisman is coming out, and David Boyle goes in to replace him. Timeout, and the score here at the Orange Bowl is Alabama nothing and Oklahoma nothing. 9.5 minutes left to play in the first period. No score in the Orange Bowl game. Alabama's picked up 2 first downs, none for Oklahoma. Alabama's hit 1 out of 2 passes. Oklahoma none for 1. 3rd and 1. Oklahoma 42. A keeper by Namath, and he goes for the 1st down as he rolls to the Oklahoma 37-yard line. Newt Burton, number 65, and John Garrett, the The linebacking center, number 67, brought him down. And so the Crimson Tide of Alabama has just picked up their third first down of the game. Alabama in Oklahoma territory for the second time. We have a couple of replacements. Benny Nelson, 28, in the backfield, the left half for Alabama. Rankin, number 17, the fullback. A fake to Rankin. Namath throws wide open. Stumbling at the 20 was Gary Martin, number 42. He was open, and he lost his footing, Paul.
That's exactly it, Curt. I believe he had a score. He was wide open on that play, thanks to a good fake by Namath in the backfield that held those defensive backs in there. And had he not just simply tripped, I believe he'd have had a touchdown.
Namath is a fine ball handler. Bear Bryant, when asked about his sophomore, said, I don't mind telling you right now, he's already great. He has set 2 all-time Alabama passing records in his sophomore season. He hit 52% of his passes. There he is from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. He broke Pat Trammell's yards passing and completion record. He completed 76 passes this year, and he still has 2 more years to go. He's one of the greatest sophomore passers in the history of the Southeast Conference.
1,192 yards this year and 13 touchdowns. Not a bad year's effort.
Not for a sophomore. Second down for Alabama, 10 to go. They're on the Oklahoma 37. Williamson split left end. Martin flank right. Keeper by Namath flipped out to Martin at the 35 and to the Oklahoma 30-yard line before he's hit by Mal Sandersfeld and David Boyle. Gary Martin, a junior from Dothan, Alabama.
And there we've just seen Alabama giving Oklahoma a taste of the Oklahoma offense, because that pitch-out play is the bread and butter play for Bud Wilkinson.
A Goodyear blimp with its overall shot of the Orange Bowl, the back stadium. 80-degree temperatures as Alabama comes up 3rd and 3 on the Oklahoma 30. No score, first period. The quick pass is complete to Williamson. Dick Williamson, who caught 24 passes this year for Alabama, gives Alabama another first down. Spotted now in the Oklahoma 25. Charlie Mayhew, number 14, made that defensive tackle for Oklahoma. So Alabama moving. Alabama's come up from their own 39. They have a sustained drive of 36 yards going. Williamson spread left. Gary Martin going in motion. Namath on a rollout. And he fell it out of bounds along the Oklahoma 25-yard line by Dave Boyles, number 57, the Oklahoma center. He'll also place the fullback. Boyles from Booker, Oklahoma. No gain. Second down, Alabama, 10 to go.
And remember that rollout pass that you just saw developing there is always a choice play. If the man is covered, the receiver is covered, the quarterback is to run with the ball. And in this case, he was well covered, and it was a wise choice to keep it and try to make some yardage on the ground.
There's Bear Bryant, the Alabama coach. His team has controlled the ball about 90% of the game so far. Oklahoma's had it for only 1 series of downs. Alabama has a second down 10 on the Oklahoma 25. The clock shows 7:39 to go in the first period. No score. Spread right end is Williamson. Namath looking to throw. Is firing to Williamson. He's there. Touchdown. Richard Williamson taking the pass from Joe Namath. And Williamson got 2 steps on Charlie Mayhew to go in for the touchdown.
He was able to get those 2 steps because of the stop-and-go pump fake by the quarterback there. We mentioned it in the film clips, and he does it pretty regularly. When he brings that arm forward, that brings that defensive man up because he thinks he's throwing the short one. And that gives that offensive receiver a step on him, and that's what happened there.
There he is, Richard Williamson, being congratulated by the Alabama bench. Caldwell will hold, and Tim Davis kicks, and the kick is good. And the score here in the Orange Bowl is Alabama 7 and Oklahoma nothing. Grady Elmore from Ozark, Alabama will kick off. We have Paul Lee and Joe Don Looney deep for Oklahoma. Looney closest and Lee on the far side. Alabama just scored, going 61 yards in 11 plays. There's the kick. This one is coming to Looney on the 8. He's to the 10, to the 15, 20, 25. Penalty marker down. A flag was dropped, and we're going to have a penalty, look like against Oklahoma, as Looney scampered that one back from his 8-yard line to the Oklahoma 36, a 28-yard run back. Mike Hopper made the tackle, but here's a penalty against Oklahoma. A 15-yarder on the kickoff return. Flipping against Oklahoma. Oklahoma's ball first down on the Oklahoma 12. And Oklahoma has been in the hole since the opening kickoff. Alabama ahead 7-0. Oklahoma's backfield will be Monty Deere at quarterback, Joe Don Looney at left half, Jim Grisham at fullback, and Virgil Bowl at right half. Second string lines in the game right now. Bumgardner spread right in. Monty Deere running the team. Deere gives the ball off to the fullback, Jim Grisham. He's out to the 15, where he's met by Leroy Jordan and Cook, a 4-string left guard. Ron Fletcher now in at quarterback for Oklahoma, a sophomore from Eufaula, Oklahoma. Second down 7 for the Sooners on their own 15. Ball to Grisham, breaks through. Grisham over the 30, the 35, and a big sophomore. Now drives his way to the 38. This is the boy that Bud Wilkinson says may be the greatest football player he ever coached. Jim Grisham, who 3 times this year outgained the opponents. Here's a quick play. Watch, this may be a long pass. Fletcher throwing a long bomb, and he's there! This was a play that Oklahoma practiced. A quick huddle, and then a long pass by Fletcher, who doesn't do much else except throw a ball 40 or 50 yards. Oklahoma first down, goal to go on the Alabama 7, and time is called. Crimson Tide of President Kennedy. Just watched that long one by sophomore Fletcher. That's called sequence number 1 by the Sooners. They run a play into the line and then try and get the other team in their defensive huddle. They come out with a quick huddle and then throw the long pass, and it worked. They've been working on it all week. Bumgardner caught it, a sophomore, one of the many sophomores. Oklahoma has 11 sophomores on it. Well, both teams now in their huddles, and we want to remind you that next Saturday, ABC's Wide World of Sports brings you another of the Orange Bowl Festival events, the exciting Orange Bowl Powerboat Regatta from Biscayne Bay right here in Miami. And as a co-feature, it's the Grand Prix of South Africa, the famous automobile race which decides the World Drivers' Championship for 62. That's next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. The Oklahoma band playing in the background. About 12,000 are here from Oklahoma, and maybe even more from Alabama. Oklahoma's on the Alabama 7. That last play went for 78 yards. Monty Deere is the quarterback. Rick McCurdy is the split left end. A penalty marker fumble. Alabama recovers. Oklahoma with a great scoring chance fumble. Jim Grisham was hit hard. He fumbles, and Alabama takes over on their 6-yard line. And that's the hard tackle that has caused Alabama to have no more than 7 points scored on it in any one game in the last 3 years.
I was going to mention, Curt, this is where Alabama specializes, right down here in pay dirt, and we could expect a tough road to hoe for Oklahoma going in from here.
Number 12 is Joe Namath, the sophomore quarterback, trying to get something straight. Another player is coming on the field checking in. Namath also checking something with the official. That's Carlton Rankin, number 17. And Oklahoma now is going to substitute. Alabama 4 first down. Oklahoma has 2. Alabama's completed 3 out of 5. Oklahoma 1 out of 2. Namath threw 25 for a touchdown, and Oklahoma just had a 78-yard pass that put them in scoring position. Then they fumbled. We have exactly 6 minutes left to play in the first period to score. Alabama 7 and Oklahoma nothing. Curt Wilkinson and Bear Bryant are 2 of the most famous college coaches in America. They met only once, and that was back in the Sugar Bowl when Wilkinson had a 31-game winning streak going, and Bryant's Kentucky team, and you see Bear Bryant there, upset Oklahoma to stop the Oklahoma winning streak. First down, Alabama on their 6. Namath pitching to Billy Piper. And Piper's out to the 6 or 7 yard line where John Flynn angled in from his left end position, number 84, and Dennis Ward, number 71.
And John Flynn made all but a spectacular play there, playing that end post or tackle post, whichever he's playing in this case, by just splitting two blockers, shoulder to shoulder, and making a tackle.
Oh, many times those preconceived trick plays don't work, but we've seen Oklahoma work 2 of them now, once last year and once this year.
He seems to specialize in a bowl game with those.
Namath, great dive by giving to Benny Nelson. Nelson, the junior, number 28, from Huntsville, Alabama, was upended by Dave Boyles and John Garrett, the 2 linebackers. It's now on the 11 of Alabama, 3rd down, 5 to go.
As a matter of fact, Curt, I think from our knowledge, we can look for a couple of more surprise plays by Oklahoma before the day is over.
All right, Ingram Colwell, a kicker, a punter's in now. He's averaged 36 yards to punt. He's dropping back in punt formation. Paul Lee is a single safety for Oklahoma. It's been a fine punt returner this year. The kick is out to Lee. Watches it bounce, takes it on the 47 to the 45 of Alabama, 40, and he gets to the 38 of Alabama. And Oklahoma now is in good field position in Alabama's territory. Mike Hopper, 86, was downfield to make the tackle for Alabama. The score is Alabama 7, Oklahoma nothing. 4.5 minutes left to play in the first period. The 29th annual Orange Bowl game.
And credit Alabama with great pursuit on that punt. There were 5 white jerseys there waiting for him to receive it.
Well, that's what they have, is outstanding pursuit. Notice their 6'2 defense. They give the ball to Chrisman, the fullback, and once he jammed up there by this hard-charging Alabama line, Dan Curley and Eddie Versprelli, the fullback, plus Leroy Jordan. Leroy Jordan made every All-American team. He's number 54 in Alabama. And Bear Bryant says if the runner stays in bounds, Jordan's going to get him. I don't care where he is, somewhere between the 2 sidelines, Jordan will nail him. He has an outstanding lateral pursuit. Second down, Oklahoma, 10 to go on the Alabama 38. Monty Dare gives to Boyles over the 35 and down to the 30. Dave Boyles now has gone in the fullback, replacing Jim Grisham. Boyles plays 2 positions, center and fullback, and Butch Henry made the tackle for Alabama.
Well, now Oklahoma is in fine field position here because they did just what they should have done after that bad break of fumbling down there in pay dirt.
On the Alabama 45. Their backfield will be Monty Deer. Boyles is a fullback. There's Paul Lee at the 45. Lee running it down to the 51. And did you see that Jordan wrap him up, reaching out those long arms and bulldogging him down? Jordan's made all kind of tackles, around the shoestrings, up around the neck, any way to get his man down, and has been everything that we've heard about him. Called by many the greatest linebacker in the history of the Southwest Conference. Second down and 6 to go for Oklahoma as they call time to stop the clock. They're on the Alabama 41-yard line. Both these teams were tough on defense. Here's Miami. Playground capital here in the winter with its weather, its golfing, and the water sports and the fishing. 80 degrees today. The 29th annual Orange Bowl game. We're saying Alabama let their opponents have only 58 yards ball on the ground a game, while Oklahoma has not had a touchdown scored on the ground against them in their last 8 games.
Well, both of these clubs are real hard-nosed teams on defense, and as we mentioned earlier in the game, both of these coaches have always coached great defensive football.
Second down, 6 for Oklahoma. The pitch out to Looney. Back tries to run it, and he's down back in the 45. Oklahoma's not getting men open. That was Leroy Jordan, 54 again, and you've seen that number time after time on tackles for Alabama.
And I have to say it's a wise choice there, Curt, not throwing it, because there was one deep receiver downfield, and he only had 3 white jerseys with him. There's no percentage throwing to him.
Gardner came out. McCurdy went in as right end. Third down, 10 to go for Oklahoma. Here faking the handoff. He's hit as he throws. It's incomplete. And they're really putting a rush in that Monty Deer. Jimmy Wilson, number 64, went in and splattered him.
George Stokes, number 79 for Oklahoma, was standing by there as the ball came down. And if you're wondering why he didn't catch it, he is an illegal receiver, and they would have received nothing but a penalty for that completion.
Now Oklahoma has a 4th down 10 on Alabama's 45 as they've been unable to move in this series of downs with only a minute 10 seconds to go in the half. No safety man back for Alabama as Looney is in punt formation for Oklahoma. Looney moves it. This one's headed for the end zone, and it's in. Touchback. Alabama takes over. With a minute to go in the first half, it'll be Alabama's ball, first down on the Alabama 20.
One of the things that is hurting Monty Deer's passing in this case is the fact that Oklahoma almost always passes from a play number pass, and that means he makes a couple of fakes to indicate a running play and then drops back to throw. In this case, Alabama, knowing that he's going to throw almost every down, doesn't take the fake on that play number pass and just charges right in for Deer, and of course he's losing time in this case by making a fake.
Joe Namath has gone all the way in offense for Alabama. The young sophomore gives off to Edward Sprilly, his fullback. Sprilly is stopped by John Porterfield, number 82, and Ralph Neely, number 77. Sometime, if you can, take a good look at that number 77 on the Oklahoma team, that Neely. Maybe we'll get him here on this defensive picture. Neely is a sophomore who weighs 251 pounds. Just a growing boy and stands 6'5". There he is, number 77, and the Oklahoma coach has already tabbed him perhaps as the greatest lineman of all time in the future. He has another couple of good years ahead of him like he's had this year as a sophomore. Penalty marker down. 23 seconds to go. It'll be a legal delay as Namath was taking the long signal count. Just puts the ball back on the 17-yard line of Alabama. Second down now, and 13 to go.
Incidentally, Curt, the mere fact that Neely is in there at over 250 pounds or around whatever he is there is a real switch for Bud Wilkinson because he has not had these big linemen prior to this season. He usually stays with the small players. There's Leroy Jordan, number 54.
The hole open for Sprilly as he comes out to the 28-yard line. The clock moving. This may be the last play of the first half.
one more thing we should mention, too, speaking of lean linemen, is the fact that the largest Oklahoma or Alabama lineman is only 2 pounds heavier than the smallest Oklahoma lineman.
And there it is. That's the end of the first half of the 29th annual Orange Bowl game. The score is Alabama 14 and Oklahoma nothing. With all the colorful halftime pageantry, scoring pass to Alabama's first touchdown. Joe Namath is the quarterback, number 12, and watch him now. He's going to hit his end Wilkinson for the score.
And watch him make the stop-and-go fake here. Watch that arm pump. See it? Right there. That's the way he sets up that defensive half.
And there's Dick Williamson wide open for the touchdown. And Alabama several other times had men wide open for long gains, but a little overthrown, and 2 times they lost their feet. And Namath faking is what's been setting up this passing. Alabama hitting 6 out of 10. And now on the next play we're going to show you, Oklahoma ran a quick play into the line and then lined up with a quick huddle, hoping to catch Alabama by surprise. They did. Here's a 70. Look at them. They come right out of that huddle. Alabama not quite ready in position. Ron Fletcher fades back and throws a pass deep to Bumgardner. And when this play is over, it goes for 78 yards. This put the ball on the Oklahoma 8-yard line, or on the Alabama 8. They fumbled the ball away, and Alabama recovered, and we're going to show you that fumble.
That's right, Curt. We're going to show that fumble right here on the next play coming up, and you'll see him hit so hard, you'll see the ball go up in the air, and Alabama recovered in the air. Watch this now as he gets hit.
There it is, a Grisham. There's a ball up in the air, and Alabama recovers. Grisham was hit so hard by this fierce tackling Alabama team. And now a run by Cotton Clark, the leading scorer in the Southeast Conference, for the Alabama second touchdown. Clark is number 45, and you're going to see him take a pitch out from the quarterback, Joe Namath, and go for the touchdown. This is in the second quarter with 6.5 minutes to go. And this is going to put Alabama out in front as they convert in the background. Alabama coming out. In slow motion, this is a very well executed reach out ball.
It's not only a well-executed pitch out, Curt, but it's this is a steal from Bud Wilkinson's own offense there, that pitch out play. He uses this, as I mentioned, for his bread and butter play. You'll see the fake to the man hitting it on the quick dive, and then the toss to the following man here, right here, and here he goes into the end zone after he pitches to him.
There it is to Cotton Clark, 45, and he sprints into the end zone for the touchdown. Alabama's second touchdown. Oklahoma failed to score in the first half, and those were the highlight plays of the first half. And now let's go back down on the field. Both squads are back out again. Here are the statistics for the first half. Alabama dominating 9 first downs to Oklahoma's 4. 93 yards net rushing to 79 for Oklahoma. Alabama at 78 yards passing, Oklahoma 71. Most of Oklahoma's on one play, though. Young Namath, the sophomore, hit 6 out of 10 passes. Oklahoma had 2 out of 6 completions. Alabama punted for 44.5, and Oklahoma way below their usual average, 33.7. And now we'll have the kickoff for the start of the second half of the Orange Bowl game in just a minute. Back for Oklahoma, Looney on the far side and Lee on the near side. Watch out, we may have an onside kick. Alabama likes to do that. No, they boot her straight away, and that's a beauty. Looney takes it deep in the end zone. He's going to run it out to the 5, to the 10, 15. Trying to get outside. He's at the 20, and he's ridden out of bounds on the Oklahoma 22-yard line by Charlie Fell, number 69. And by 37, Grady Elmore, the man who booted off. There's Joe Don Looney. 5th in the nation of rushing, but he's been stopped today by Alabama. In the first half, Grisham gained 59 yards and Looney 3. First down Oklahoma on their 22. The keeper play, Deer running away at the 35 and out of bounds on the Oklahoma 38. A beautiful fake by little Monty Deer, faking to Looney up the middle and then keeping.
That's right, Curt. He's been making a one-way fake and a two-way fake several times. And this time he faked to both men and kept the ball himself and went off tackle.
First down Oklahoma on their own 37. That's Grisham. Grisham driving to the Oklahoma 42. Number 54, Leroy Jordan, and you see that number. And that player time after time on defensive tackles. A gain of 6, second down 4. Oklahoma running a quick huddle now. Grisham again over the 45, and he's out to the 46-yard line of Oklahoma, where Jimmy Wilson took him low, and Eddie Versprilli, the fullback and linebacker, hit him high. Oklahoma has a third down and a half yard to go. They're moving right now better than they have any other time in the game. Here's Grisham. He's got a first down. Grisham drives into Alabama territory. 2 first downs in a row for Oklahoma. They're now on the Alabama 47-yard line. Jim Grisham. Tackled by Jack Hurlbut and Leroy Jordan. First down Oklahoma on the Alabama 47. This is Oklahoma's famous speed huddle. Here's a pitch. Oh, he's hit. He better follow that ball back on the 45. Eddie Versprilli, 31, had diagnosed that play, and he knifed through there and hit Jim Grisham. The play, it looked like they had a busted signal and a handoff, and that was an ad-lib play, Paul, and he finally pitched it back.
Well, if had he got plainly, I think it would have gone.
That was a loss of 8, second down, 18 for Oklahoma on their own 45. Deere keeps at the 50, and he's hit there at the 50. Jack Hurlbut and Eddie Versprilli. One thing I think you have noticed, it's very obvious, Alabama, even though holes are opened up by the Oklahoma line, it looks like an Oklahoma back's going somewhere. Alabama has this quickness, this lateral pursuit to make up for mistakes, make up for holes open, and they are a little bit quicker than Oklahoma, especially in the secondary. That's been the story so far. Third down and 13. This is Looney trying to get outside. He makes it back through the 49 of Oklahoma, yard loss. It'll be fourth down now and 14 to go.
The reason for this quick huddle by Oklahoma is the fact that Alabama is known to call some very complicated defensive signals, so they hope to catch him in one of those. But in this case, Bear Bryant is right up with him on Alabama because he's stayed with one defense all the way, and they haven't had to do that on defense.
That's Cotton Clark, the safety man of Alabama on the 14. Joe Don Looney, confirmation for Oklahoma. Kicks it away. Fair catch called by Clark. He'll take it on his 14-yard line. It'll be Alabama's ball. First down. And they'll have the ball for the first time in the second half. We have 11 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the third period. Alabama's ahead, 14-0. The leading rusher for Alabama in the first half was Eddie Versprilli, the fullback, with 35. Cotton Clark had 30 yards. The leading rusher in the game has been Jim Grisham, the Oklahoma fullback, with 59 yards. Namath hit 6 out of 10 passes. Namath giving off to Cotton Clark, and he's hit hard there. Number 45, Clark, was hit by Wayne Lee and Rick McCurdy. Lee is 51 and McCurdy's number 80. It's on the 22-yard line. Check that on the 17-yard line of Alabama. Second down, 7. Williamson spread right in. Butch Wilson slot left. Namath rolling out. High starts to run. He gets up to the 20. Fumble! Recovered it himself as he started to lose the ball. Namath fell on it. Virgil Ball tackled him in the secondary, along with Wayne Cook. Down the 21-yard line. 4-yard gain for Alabama. 3rd and 3. Alabama this year, winners of 9, losers of just 1. That by a single point to Georgia Tech, which cost Alabama the national championship. They were number 1 in the nation when they lost that game. Butch Wilson, slot left. Here's the pitch to Clark. Clark trying to get outside, is hit down, but he gets the first down for Alabama. Alabama has a first down on the Alabama 25. Alabama now has 10 first downs, Oklahoma 6. Bill Battle, the right end, number 84, spread right. Wilson in the slot. There's the penalty marker down. Coming up the middle is Versprilli, the fullback. That's the old drive series. They can either give it to the fullback or take it away from him and then pitch wide to the halfback. Or the quarterback can keep. They have about 3 options off of it. Here's your penalty. Offside, Oklahoma is being declined by Alabama. The ball goes out to the Alabama 33, an 8-yard gain. Second down and 2 2 to go for Alabama. Eddie Versprelli comes out at fullback, and Carlton Rankin, number 17, goes into the Alabama backfield.
Curt, we might explain this illegal position that you've mentioned has happened several times today. Almost invariably, that is a lack of 7 men on the offensive line of scrimmage. You cannot start a play without at least 7 men on the line of scrimmage, and generally you'll find they're down to 6 or even 5 in some cases because of somebody blows a signal.
There's the governor of Alabama, the Honorable John Patterson. Right now very happy as the Alabama Crimson Tide is out in front 14 to nothing. Williamson is the split left end. Alabama has a 2nd down 2 on their 33 to splitting the enter into battle. Namath with a rollout, following 2 men to the 35 and getting up to the 38-yard line. He was hit hard there by John Porterfield, number 82, the left end defensively of Oklahoma. That gives Alabama another first down. Alabama now has 11 first downs to 6 for Oklahoma. Alabama slowly grinding out the yardage to move the ball from their 14 to their 38. And with a 14-point lead, of course, every play Alabama runs, they're using up time, giving Oklahoma a left chance. Namath is fading on first down. He's firing deep. He overthrows his target, Williamson, 83. Williamson was covered by Mayhew. This is 4 or 5 times in the game. Alabama, after a fake, has had that defender 2 steps behind an Oklahoma man, or that receiver.
In this case, however, Curt, with all credit to Oklahoma, I think we should mention he did not have the wide open lead he's had in the past. He was pretty closely covered, and it would have required a perfect drop-in over an outstretched arm to make that a pass completion.
Namath now has attempted 11 passes, completed 6. One game this year, Alabama threw 38 passes. That was against Georgia Tech, the game they lost. Wilson in the slot. Clark in motion. The fullback, Rankin, slanting off over the 40 to the Alabama 45. Cal Sandersfeld, the right half of Oklahoma, and the linebacker, John Garrett, number 67, made the tackle. Charles Stevens now has come in at left end for Alabama, replacing Dick Williamson. 3rd down, 3 to go for Alabama on the Alabama 45. Alabama's ahead, 14 to nothing. Near offside. Namath is ridden down and hit for a loss. Ed McQuarters came through there, number 64, and he hit him almost when he took the exchange from the center. So the ball now is on the Alabama 42, a 3-yard loss, and Alabama has a 4th and 7, and Alabama's going in punt formation. Ingram Colwell will do the punting, and the safety man is Paul Lee of Oklahoma, who's averaged 15 yards a return. Colwell is number 11. He is moving with a slight wind at his back, about an 8-mile-an-hour wind. Kicks away, and it's a good one. Lee's watching it go into the end zone. It'll be a first down for Oklahoma on the Oklahoma 20. That kick from scrimmage, 58 yards. And right now, timeout. And the score here at the Orange Bowl is Alabama 14 and Oklahoma nothing. Oklahoma now will put the ball in play on the Oklahoma 20, first down, and this is really a suntan day here in Miami with a temperature of 80 degrees. Bonnie Deere's handoff goes to the fullback, Jim Grisham, who's out to the 23 of Oklahoma. Grisham has been the big line and yard gainer for Oklahoma today. 3 times this year he outrushed the opponent. He got 116 yards against Missouri. Quick huddle, 2nd and 7 for Oklahoma under 23. It's Grisham again on a fullback slant. He goes to the 27 of Oklahoma. 4-yard pickup where Dan Curley brought him down. 3rd down and 3 to go. A few years ago, Oklahoma played Maryland here in the Orange Bowl and made the speed huddle famous in the second half when they caught Maryland by surprise coming out of their defensive huddles time after time. Pitch is to Looney. Boy, that play was smelled out. Looney hit by Leroy Jordan, number 54, who turned the pitch in, and Looney had no chance to get outside. So the ball's on the Oklahoma 26. The loss of the yard is 4th down and 4. And once again, Oklahoma is going to be forced into punt formation against this tenacious Alabama defense. The safety man is Billy Piper, number 41. Joe Don Looney in punt formation, kicking against a slight wind. the leading kicker of the nation this past year, slices that one out of bounds on the Oklahoma 32 and a half. Looney's a little disgusted at himself, but Mike Hopper, 86, nearly blocked it and forced Looney to slice it out of bounds. And repeatedly in this game, Paul, Alabama's quickness in their line charge and their quickness in their defensive secondary has set up opportunities for themselves.
You know, the amazing thing on rushing the punter in this case, they only had a 4-man rush going there, and still they managed to get a man in on the kicker.
Alabama has its first team line in now. Their backfield will be Namath, 12 at quarterback, Cotton Clark, 45 at left half, Butch Wilson, number 20, the slot back, and Eddie Versprilli, number 31, the fullback, with Williamson and Battle at end, Henry and Pell the tackles, Wilson and Sharp the guard, and Gerald Stevens centering. This is Alabama's first team. Williamson is a split left end. Clark in motion, a keeper by Namath. Namath to the Oklahoma 29-yard line where Dwayne Cook stopped him. Alabama's leading 14-0. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the third period. And Alabama now has a second down, 7 coming. Number 84 is Battle going right, the right end. Williamson spread left end. Slot back is Wilson. Namath throwing out to Battle, and Battle is hit immediately, and his forward motion stopped on the 28-yard line. Charlie Mayhew, number 14, tackled Battle.
That is absolutely about the best you can do on defense for that type of pass, because it's hit immediately. You have no time to knock it down. The best thing you can do is stop it at the line of scrimmage, and there's Charlie Mayhew, who did make the stop.
Alabama has a third down and 7 to go. Williamson spreads wide to the left. Namath on third down is fading. Runs to the 30, to the 25, and inside the Oklahoma 20. Joe Namath with a big play gets the first down for Alabama. He couldn't find anyone open. He's not supposed to be an outstanding runner, but he showed some nifty ability there. Alabama first down on the Oklahoma 20-yard line.
He's getting real fine protection, too, because you saw him stand there for 2 or 3 seconds, and the average elapsed time on a throw is usually about 3 seconds.
Williamson is spread right, Battle left this time as they change ends. Namath to his fullback, Versprilli. Gets about 3 yards to the Oklahoma 17, where Burton, the left guard, and Boyle, the center, brought him down. Second down, 7 to go for Alabama. Alabama threatening again. We have 4.5 minutes left to play in the third period, and Alabama's leading 14-0. Rankin has come in at fullback. Carlton Rankin replacing Versprilli. The two ends are spread wide again. Namath looking. Throws. It's complete to Williamson. Williamson is stopped on the 10-yard line of Oklahoma by Mayhew, number 14. Dick Williamson this year caught 24 passes, the second all-time Alabama record for most passes in a season. Now you wonder, what about Don Hudson? We found out they did not keep records when Hudson played with Alabama, so no one knows exactly how many passes Don Hudson, considered the greatest pass receiver of all time, caught in his playing days at Alabama.
I will have to say that he'd have to go some to meet Mr. Hudson's record. The last time I saw him, he played in his last game. We held him to 3 touchdowns, Curt.
Third down, a half yard to go for Alabama. And first down by Cotton Clark. Clark moving to the Oklahoma 7-yard line. Clark has been murder inside the 10 this year. He has scored 15 touchdowns during the season. When they get inside that 10, he gets that 7 yardage for you. First down for Alabama and goal to go. To Clark. Here's the pass. He was open out there, Williamson, but he couldn't. It was overthrown. Number 41, Sandersfeld covering him. Second down, 7 to go for an Alabama touchdown on the Oklahoma 7.
You could probably hear the Alabama band in the background there. They're right near where the scene of the play is, and they're hollering, go, go, go. But they're well disciplined because they stop this team at the moment they get to the line of scrimmage so the quarterback can bark his signal.
Now they stop, as Paul pointed out. And the pitch is going to the 5 and hit at the 5 is Cotton Clark. Inside the 5, maybe at the 2. As he bites off about 4 tough yards, Bud Wilkinson anxiously looking on, hoping his team can hold.
And here again we see Oklahoma rising to the occasion because this is Boot Hill down here. Those last 10 yards are tough. They're making a fine stand. They've held Alabama to approximately 6 yards and 3 tries here.
Alabama has 3rd down and 3 to go for a touchdown. Sneak by Namath, while over the 2-yard line. Namath trying to sneak it over. It'll be 4th down and 2 now for Alabama.
It almost looked like he was running for position on that play because he didn't elect to go to one little hole that was open. It might be a field goal coming up. He might have wanted to get the ball right in the middle of the field.
They have Tim Davis from Columbus, Georgia, a field goal specialist coming in. He kicked 4 out of 7 field goals this year. He's booted 2 extra points already in the game. Ingram Caldwell will hold. Alabama has a 4th down, 3 yards to go for a touchdown. They're leading 14, and they have their field goal kicking team in the game with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the 3rd period. After a bad Oklahoma punt out of bounds by Wilkinson, and he has not kicked the ball today as he has during the season as this Alabama line puts some pressure on. Alabama has moved from the Oklahoma 32 to the Oklahoma 3. Well, Alabama now has attempted 14 passes in the game, completed 8. They have racked up 13 first downs. Oklahoma's made only 6 first downs. Oklahoma has 2 out of 6 passes. 2 Oklahoma fumbles in the first half inside the Alabama 10 were costly to the Sooners. All right, let's see now if they boot this. With Caldwell holding, Davis will kick. It's from the 8-yard line. The boot is up, and the kick is good. Here in the Orange Bowl game is Alabama 17 and Oklahoma nothing. And now, Curt Gowdy again with Paul Chrisman and Jim McKay as Grady Elmore will kick off for Alabama. And the fact stands at 72,000. The crowd officially is 73,000. Lee and Looney. The kick is coming to Looney. Fumbles it on a 10 back to the 20, to the 25. Looney to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, and they rode him out of bounds. Let's see who that man was. He was the only man left. Number 41 is Billy Piper. If Looney could have gone down that sideline and got by number 41 Piper, he would have run that kick back 90 yards for a touchdown. Well, that was a good return by Looney. And there's 60 being played. It's Oklahoma's ball, first down on the Oklahoma 42. Monty Deere, the quarterback. Deere to Looney. Looney puts it out for 3 yards to the Oklahoma 45, where Leroy Jordan met him. And also Dan Shirley. Number 72 is Bill Wieseman. Second down, 7 to go for Oklahoma on the Oklahoma 45. We're in the closing minute and a half of the 3rd period. Alabama leading 17-0. Bumgarner is a split left end. Here giving off to his fullback Grisham, who picks up 3 more yards to the 48 of Oklahoma. Leroy Jordan on the tackle. 3rd down 4 for Oklahoma.
I think it's no secret. Eventually, Curt, we're going to have to see Deere go to the air because it's just a plain fact. It's pretty obvious to the viewers that Alabama defensive line has been able to handle that Oklahoma offensive line. This is no disgrace. They're just outplaying them a little bit.
3rd down, 4 to go. Deere on the pitch out and hit is Grisham. And Oklahoma, Paul, has been unable to get outside today. They haven't been able to turn that corner at all.
Well, and of course, those interior linemen for Alabama have been jamming, so they haven't had great success inside. They have not had a good, consistent running attack. They haven't had a series of first downs, which, of course, is what you need to get a good drive going.
4th down now. President Kennedy watching the game, sitting on the Oklahoma side. But his car came in on this near side where we are, and this was the most convenient side for him. And fun formation is Rick McCurdy. McCurdy now is punting, and Looney is not in there. McCurdy boots it. He kicks it to Billy Piper at the 20. Piper to the 25. And Piper fights his way to the Alabama 29. George Stokes and Larry Vermillion went downfield to make the tackle for Oklahoma. Alabama's ball, first down on the Alabama 29-yard line. And there's the end of the third quarter of the Orange Bowl game. The score is Alabama 17 and Oklahoma nothing. We're going now to the fourth quarter of the 29th annual Orange Bowl game. This is Curt Gowdy with Paul Chrisman and Jim McKay. Alabama leading 17-0. With their quickness and lateral movement, they have dominated this game. Oklahoma twice has threatened earlier, but fumbled away both opportunities. And here in the second half, Oklahoma's not had a scoring opportunity, while Alabama has kicked a field goal. Alabama puts the ball in play on their 29, first down. Williamson is the spread left end. Wilson the slot back. It's to the fullback, Carlton Rankin, who was stopped by Paul Lay, the safety man, and John Garrett for Oklahoma. Ball's on the 33-yard line of Alabama. Second down, 6. Has watched his team perform in marvelous style today. Second down, 6. Williamson, the spread left end. Namath giving off and hit on at the 35 with Rankin again by Dave Boyles, who had a wrist fracture earlier in the year and recovered. Boyles is a sophomore from Hooker, Oklahoma.
That was a counter-type play there, and both of these teams that with their running have had pretty good success with the counter-type play. That's all the motion to one side.
Third down and 3 for Alabama. The keeper by Namath. And he gets the first down as he rolls it up to the Alabama 41. That's twice Namath had picked up yardage on a third down keeper play to give Alabama first down. Last tackle by Leon Cross, Oklahoma's right guard, All-American guard, and one of the co-captains. Alabama now on their 42-yard line, a first down. We're in our fourth quarter early. Alabama ahead 17-0. They have spread both ends. Namath again to his fullback, Carlton Rankin from Piedmont, Alabama, senior. He's out to the Alabama 48. 6-yard gain, stopped by Paul Lee, the safety man of Oklahoma, and Dennis Ward, the left tackle. Alabama's been effective with that fullback up the middle, and so has Oklahoma. Alabama's controlled the clock here in the second half. They've had the ball most of the time. Oklahoma's added a few series of downs and then been forced to punt. Slot right. A near motion, but not quite. Dive tackle play off to Butch Wilson. Wilson pulled down just short of the 50-yard line. And you notice Cotton Clark, who went in the slot position, nearly jumped forward in motion and then just checked himself in time. Let's put it on the 50. It is third down and 2 to go for Alabama. Charlie Stevens goes wide right. Namath gets rid of that ball to Clark at the 50, and he's hit and dropped at the 48. Namath kept that ball to the last possible second and then flipped it out, running a beautiful option play. And once again, Paul, Alabama has a first down.
They do indeed, Curt, and you are absolutely right. He got that lateral off under great duress. And when you say last second, you mean last half second, because he was hit and he still got it off well.
There, Bryant is not given out to too many superlatives, but he's not bashful about bragging about his sophomore quarterback, Namath. He says he's already great and is going to be greater. First down, Alabama on the Oklahoma 47. Namath fading. Jump pass is complete, and falling down at the Oklahoma 46 is Butch Wilson, number 20. The outstanding blocking back and blocker in the Southeast Conference. That only went for a yard. Second down and 9. We have just over 11 minutes left to play in the game. Alabama's ahead, 17-0. Charlie Stevens flipped wide left. Wilson in the slot. Namath on a, say they call that a forward pass. It's an incomplete forward pass.
Yes, Curt. Even though he threw it underhand, if he throws sidearm or behind his ear, as long as the ball moves forward, it's a forward pass, and when he drops it, it's an incomplete pass and not a fumble.
That's called the Utah pass, made famous by Jack Curtis to play. But Paul, a few years ago, he ran so effectively against the Army. When Lee Grosscup was playing for Utah, and they played at West Point. 3rd down, 9 for Alabama on the Oklahoma 46. Namath's pass is incomplete at the 33 to Williamson. Covered by Sandersfeld, number 41, and now Alabama is forced into a 4th down situation. 4th and 9 on the Oklahoma 46. Cotton Clark will be the punter if they do boot. Number 36 is Paul Lee, the safety man.
I'm a little surprised to see Bear Bryant's passing attack because, as we've mentioned, he's been a rather conservative man as far as throwing the ball around is concerned, and yet they're using pro-type patterns, good cuts with their receivers, and of course Namath is hitting them right on the cut, and this makes it very difficult to cover.
And the spotters up in the press box are busy for these coaching staffs. For Sprilly and Rank and 2 fullbacks are now in for Alabama, probably the block for this punt. 3 deep men for Oklahoma. Powering boot by Cotton Clark. This one is in the end zone. It'll be an automatic touchdown back, and Oklahoma comes out and puts the ball in play on their 20-yard line. Right now there's timeout. And the score here at the Orange Bowl is still Alabama 17 and Oklahoma nothing. And the Sooners had better go to work. They're trailing 17 to nothing. Bumgardner, split wide right. Bonnie Deere, after 2 fakes, is keeping the ball, looking for a receiver, gets to the 20 and up to the 22, and that's all. Pulled down by Mike Hopper, number 86. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Oklahoma has thrown very little in the game. They have attempted just 6 passes, completed 2, and they haven't thrown a pass in the second half. Here again, look at that pressure on him. You can see why he hasn't been able to throw much. Breaking through is Mitchell, number 60. And Kearley along with McClendon. And he's all the way back to his 14, a loss of 8. 3rd down and 22.
Both of these quarterbacks use that same maneuver when they go for a drop-back pass instead of a rollout. And that is, they start to their right like a fake and then come back to their left and set to throw. Of course, both teams are conscious of this fact, and when they expect a pass, they don't take that first fake. They just go right for the position they anticipate him to run.
3rd down and 22 for Oklahoma. Here right up the middle. Gives the ball out to Jim Grisham. The only consistent gainer for Oklahoma today on the ground. And Grisham is stopped at the Oklahoma 24-yard line. That was a gain of 10, but still leaves Oklahoma 4th down and 12 to go.
And that, incidentally, was a very fine call there. It's an obvious passing situation, and, of course, the defense is aware of this. And once in a while, you get away with that quick pop up the middle for long yardage.
Joe Don Looney now goes back in punt formation. A slight wind at his back. Billy Piper's a safety man. He's back on the Alabama 35. Nearly blocked that one. Booming kick by Looney. This is a great kick, hitting on the 20 and going out of bounds on the 19-yard line. Well, with that kick ball, you can understand why he led the nation in punting this past year.
Curt, I don't think we'll see many better kicks in the college game than that. A beautiful one. A turnover spiral. Sometimes the front end of the ball does not turn over and it hangs up there. In this case, it made the arc and came down beautifully.
That was 57 yards with no return as Joe Don Looney comes off the field. Alabama's ball, 1st down on the Alabama 19. The score is Alabama 17, Oklahoma nothing. We have 8 minutes and 53 seconds left to play. Oklahoma was not shut out any time this year. In fact, they very frequently have been shut out over their the all-time national record during one stage in the 50s of scoring in 123 games in a row. But today they have run into an agile, quick, alert Alabama team that so far has stopped Oklahoma without a score. 11 times the ball has changed hands here in the second half. Alabama's ball, first down. It is Namath to Versprilli, his fullback. Out to the 15. Newt Burton made the tackle. Second down and 9 to go for Alabama.
And of course, the Oklahoma line is grudgingly giving up those first downs, making Alabama do it the hard way. But they are giving them up, and of course, each series eats up quite a bit of time.
Second down, 9. Gary Martin in the slot. Benny Nelson. Nelson brought down on the 18-yard line of Alabama by Dwayne Cook. Dwayne Cook, number 72, from Amarillo, Texas. Alabama has a third down and 6. And they're out in front, 17-0. Now we have a punt formation. Gary Martin is deep. All Lee safety man. And they run it up to the 20-yard line for Sprilly. Fourth down and 4 for Alabama. Check this. Have a measure. Ball came out to the 23. He scooted under there for about 3 extra yards. Any part of that ball meeting the inside edge of the yardstick. Looks like they're short about 6 inches. Fourth down and inches for Alabama. And Ingram Colwell is coming in of Alabama's punters. Paul Lee will be a single safety for Oklahoma. There's Lee standing on the Oklahoma 35. Now they're lining up. They may go for it. Now they shift into the punt formation. Colwell back on the 10. Boots it away. It's a good kick. Lee calls for a fair catch and downs it on the Oklahoma 35. Oklahoma's ball, first down. On the Oklahoma 35-yard line with 7 minutes, 13 seconds left to play in the game. Right now it's timeout. And the score here at the Orange Bowl is Alabama 17 and Oklahoma nothing. Well, we had moon over Miami. Here's the score over Miami. Alabama 17, Oklahoma nothing. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the game. And Oklahoma has the ball on the Oklahoma 35. Oklahoma will have Monty Deere at quarterback, Joe Donaludi at left half, Jim Grisham at fullback, and Virgil Bull at slot back. And the Sooners are in a slot right. Deere keeping. Look out from behind. He throws. It is complete to Flynn. Flynn's into Alabama territory and down to the Alabama 45. Deere was nearly hit by a man coming in behind him, Eddie Versprilli, the linebacker, but he got rid of that one, and that's the first pass completion for Oklahoma in the second half. Oklahoma on the Alabama 45, first down. McCurdy split left end. Off to Jim Grisham, he pulls forward for 5 yards to the Alabama 40. It'll be second down, 5 yards to go for Oklahoma. Mike Hopper made the tackle.
Curt, I think they're almost going to have to pass continuously because we're down to 6 minutes and 25 seconds, and time is of the essence at this moment with a 2-score and a field goal behind.
Now they're slot away with Bumgarner sprint wide. Deere gives the ball once again to his fullback, Jim Grisham, who is just short of the Alabama 35. Jimmy Wilson and Leroy Jordan. And Jordan has excelled today, and he's from a town that really describes him, Excel, Alabama. A town of about 300. Grisham goes for that first down and gets it. Jim Grisham gives Oklahoma first down on the Alabama 33-yard line. Charlie Powell and Eddie Versprilli tackled him. Oklahoma's ball, first down on the Alabama 33. McCurdy split left end. Here, keeping the ball. Throwing. It is complete to Flynn at the 25. He's to the 20. And he's at the Alabama 18-yard line, where Leroy Jordan brought him down along with Jack Hurlbut. Put it on the 19. Another first down for Oklahoma. Oklahoma on the Alabama 19 with a first down.
Just by mixing in that pass occasionally, they're able to move the ball pretty well now. They have a good drive going.
McCurdy goes out to the right this time. And hit hard as Grisham right at the line of scrimmage. Number 76 nailed him. Dan Curley. No gain. Second down and 10. Oklahoma on the 19 of Alabama. This is the Oklahoma's first scoring threat in the second half. In the first half, Oklahoma lost the ball and fumbled twice inside the Alabama 10. Bumgarner spread right in. It's Grisham again, and Grisham to the 17. Leroy Jordan stopped him. Incidentally, Leroy Jordan, at hometown we talked about, Excel, Alabama, instead of giving him a car, he wants to be a farmer, and he's going to get a 1,500-pound bull. As a present, they're going to have a big day for Leroy there in Excel, and you can see why they're so proud of him. The type of football he's played here today. Third down, 8 to go. Oklahoma on the Alabama 17. Double fake. Deere is looking. Deere runs it down to the 16. Couldn't find anybody open. Johnny Sharp, Jimmy Sharp 61, and Jimmy Wilson 64 nailed him.
That's right. There again, you've got to credit that Alabama defense. Particularly those defensive backs. That was a pass call, but he couldn't find a man open, so he had to run with it.
Fourth down, 7 to go for Oklahoma on the Alabama 16-yard line. McCurdy is the spread right in. Here's a fake. He's hit. Boy, how he's hit. A fumble. No pass. Deere was hauled down, and he was hit there by number 64, Jimmy Wilson. Time after time, these quick Alabama linemen have poured in and put the pressure on Deere. Deere has only on a couple of occasions had time to throw the ball. So Alabama stops the Oklahoma drive, and Alabama takes over for a first down. Right now, they're timeout. And the score here at the Orange Bowl is Alabama 17 and Oklahoma nothing. The right guard of Oklahoma is on the 22-yard line. Leroy Jordan going out, getting a big hand. The All-American center going to the bench. There he is. There Bryant calls him not All-American, All-World. It's on the 22-yard line. What a game he played here today. Joe Namath is dropped on a beautiful tackle back on the 13-yard line by 82, John Porterfield from Bixby, Oklahoma. Third down, 11 for Alabama. Leroy Jordan. Every All-American team this year. What do you think of him as a linebacker, Paul?
Kurt, you mentioned the fact that he makes most of the tackles in a ball game. Whether we think so or not, the fact that you've announced his name about 50 times in this ball game, he can't help but be in on every play. He is. He's one of these guys that's up there for the 1-yard gain. He's back there to knock the pass down. He's all over the field.
Just seems to have that sense of diagnosing plays and that quickness and alertness. He's 207 pounds, but he moves like a lightweight. Alabama's ball on the Alabama 13. 2 minutes, 44 seconds. Remain to play in the game with a score 17-0 Alabama. Alabama has a third down. Full back up the middle, or a halfback, the slot back, Hudson Harris. Hudson Harris. On the 16 of Alabama, he was met there by John Garrett. And now a timeout called by Oklahoma to stop the clock. And Ingram Caldwell, with fourth down, is coming in to do the punting for Alabama. Arnold Palmer and Gary Blair star in Challenge Golf, ABC's unique new golf series, debuting Saturday, January 12th, on the ABC television network. Masters and British Open champion Arnold Palmer and PGA title holder Flair will be teamed against top professionals. January 12th, starting ABC television. There's the lead disabling man. Colwell boots it out. Lee watching it hit under 50, and it's out of bounds on the Oklahoma 46-yard line. And as that ball went out of bounds, the clock stopped with 2 minutes, 26 seconds left to play. First down, Oklahoma, on the Oklahoma 47. Here keeps it, runs to the 50, 45, 40. Laterals out. Paul Lee. He's out of bounds. Paul Lee, number 36, out of bounds on the Alabama 14-yard line. Cotton Clark drove him out as President Kennedy came to his feet along with the 73,000 other fans in the stadium.
Curt, we said Namath has been holding that pitch out to the last second. Nobody did it better than Deere right there. He ran some 20 yards before he released that ball.
And it's off to Jim Grisham, the fullback. Grisham's to the Alabama 12, 11-yard line before he's brought down. Eddie Versprilli and Cotton Clark making the tackle. Second down, 3 to go. He's hit hard that time, Grisham, by Dan Curley and Leroy Jordan, 54.
Well, there's no doubt that Grisham is the bread and butter man for Oklahoma, and I think maybe Alabama's keying on him anytime there's a short yardage situation, because there are usually 4 or 5 men in the hole to meet him. Actually, he's been dragging a few bodies with him when he does make yardage.
He pitched to Looney. Looney trying to riddle forward, gets to the 11, and there's one way that Alabama has stopped Oklahoma today. Oklahoma's been unable to get Joe Don Looney, their speedster, outside. Alabama has really protected the flanks today. One of the few shutouts that Bud Wilkinson will have incurred in his coaching career. Notre Dame shut him off in Leroy Jordan. And Wayne Freeman stopped him, along with Jimmy Wilson. 34 seconds to go. The crowd leaving now as Alabama held him on the 10-yard line. Well, after watching Alabama today, we can understand why no team has scored more than 7 points in any game against Alabama in the last 28 games. They're waving him off the field. The clock shows 2 seconds to go. All right, here's the last play of the game. Elmore falls on the ball, and there it is. There Bryant starts the cross, being carried by his players. Bud Wilkinson will go across to congratulate. They're very close friends and have been for years. Here's Bryant being brought across, and Bud Wilkinson will pop into your picture here in a moment. There's Bud shaking hands with the Bear and probably telling him, Bear, you deserved it. Look at Bud saying, boy, what a defensive club you had out there today. When you shut out one of my teams, you've done something. And Wilkinson and Bryant, 2 of the great names of college football coaching, shaking hands at the 50-yard line as Alabama has won the 29th annual Orange Bowl game with a crushing defensive performance, 17-0. So Alabama ends their season losing only 1 game by a single point this year. In fact, in the last 29 games now, they've lost only 1 game.
Well, we have found ourselves down here on the field. Joe Namath, the great sophomore quarterback at the University of Alabama. Congratulations, Joe, on a great football game.
Thank you.
Was there a turning point in this football game as you saw?
Well, those 2 fumbles Oklahoma had hurt them a lot.
Yeah, they didn't
That
hurt
was a
you
big
fellas
thing.
any.
No, that helped us out.
You sure gave a great cool performance for a fella in his first year of varsity football. Were you at all jittery or nervous when you first started the ball game?
Well, you always are in a big game. You got a team out there working with you like the rest of the guys from Alabama. A real good team. You don't have to worry too much about it.
Who's going to win Southeastern Conference next year, Joe?
Well, I hope we do.
Alabama, huh? Congratulations.